Welcome to a brand new album review. Today we're going to talk metalcore with one of the best in the modern era, Fit for King, and their newest album, The Hell We Create. This Texan band were one of the biggest in the Christian metalcore scene with top records like Creation/Destruction and Slave to Nothing, blowing up even further on Death Grip and especially on Dark Skies. Their latest release, 2020's The Path, was very hit or miss for most hardcore fans of the band, even including me. But will this new outing bring anyone else back in? Let's dive right in. The album immediately kicks off with the title track, which is a nice solid cut that seems to be talking about humanity's destruction of the world both physically and societal. The sound is very reminiscent of the last two records, but definitely a bit different. Plus a nice little heavy breakdown at the end to add a nice touch. The intro guitar work on the next cut, the end in parentheses the other side, by guitarists Bobby Lynch and Daniel Gailey, hits that nice melodic metalcore serotonin that I really enjoy. Lyrically, the song is about Ryan Kirby's wife who had a near-death experience after having a stroke and how unprepared he was to lose her. This really does add a lot of weight to the song and I love it more because of that. The next cut on the album, Falling Through the Sky, is one of the least screamed tracks on the record, with Ryan Kirby showing his improvement in his cleans over time. Before, the cleans would have been taken care of by bassist Tuck O'Leary, but Kirby does a really good job here. The chorus is really catchy and I think will be a staple at future concerts and shows. Sink Below sonically feels like it could have fit on the last record, is a nice melodic metalcore track that kind of breezes right by. You don't really think too much of it after that. But I do wish there was still a little bit more to it, but that's just my take. On Reaper, we get a consistently heavy track with no cleans whatsoever. Basically talking about being on the precipice of death, whether because of depression or physically like illness. A nice topic for a heavy track. Ryan Kirby does have some really amazing screams in the ending, like breakdown, beatdown of this track. But back to that amazing, more melodic guitar work onto the next cut, Times Like This, which features vocalist Jonathan Vigil from Ghost Inside, another metalcore band that I really do enjoy. The chorus is very similar to one of the songs from The Path, which makes me question the song just a little bit. There is a nice solid guitar solo before we get to the breakdown portion, which consists entirely of Vigil's vocals before the last chorus hits. Things do get a bit different and heavy on Eyes Roll Back. Ryan Kirby's scream rage is on full display here, and also there's a ton of nu metal inspired instrumentation as well. I loved every second of this one. It's a headbang worthy track that a lot of people I think will love. Fracture kind of starts a trend for the last few songs where they have more softer sounding cuts, but it does tackle a nice topic in Burning Bridges with someone you used to love or care for. Tuck O'Leary does bring his vocals back on the beginning of Reaching Out and even helping out in the chorus as well. Definitely not a heavy song musically, but really good as the lyrics hit a nice emotional weight. Then we do reach the finale of this short album with What You Left Behind, which has an amazing intro. Sounds a lot like more of their songs from the Dark Skies era, and I love every bit of it. A really damn good album. The one thing I didn't really mention too much of this record is the drumming. It was very solid, nothing really to write home about. There's nothing unique or crazy technical, just really solid drumming. And as I mentioned, the guitar work is really, really good as well. The riffs, the melodic playing, and everything else. Just wish I could hear more bass. I didn't really get a lot of that. Maybe it's just not good headphones, but I didn't really get a lot of the bass. But it does sound really good. And as I mentioned, lyrically, it's always been really good. Fit for King has always been really a lyrical band more than anything. Whether it is their own religion, whether it's just societal, whether it's more personal, they've always been that lyrically. But what did the album come down to? Let's talk about that. Although this album does have its moments, and there's plenty of them, I did get a sense of too many similarities to the past couple albums in terms of chorus sounds, riffs, and plenty more. Many unique instances like Eyes Roll Back and What You Left Behind are enough to hold this album on its own. This record is definitely a surefire upgrade over The Path, but not enough to confidently put it above some of their classic OG records that more of the fans love dearly. It is heavy, it's greatly melodic, and there are tunes to definitely bring in even new fans that are new to metalcore or just heavy music in general. But the OG fans will find this to be kind of a bit of a letdown. The Hell We Create gets a 7 out of 10. Let me know what you think of this album in the comments below. I'll be trying to keep a more consistent schedule and put out more reviews, but also if you want to follow and listen to my Spotify playlist, I'll leave it linked in the description. But stay tuned for the next review, and I hope you do well.